So this is just a quick update on my Autocross 2.0 build. This will cover just some stuff that I'm working on. As always, the engine bay is looking pretty good. I'm still waiting on a custom CNC clutch pin. I restored this plastic cowl a few weeks ago and it looks really good. And my custom gold painted redhead steering box is also looking excellent. Still not completely sure how I'm gonna mount this 4th generation coolant overflow. And taking a look at the interior, it's a disaster. Crazy dirty. The passenger side subframe connectors are welded up and ready for paint and seam sealer. My trap door that I spent all that time on is all dirty. I'll be adding some Dynamat to this area eventually as it sounds super hollow. The driver's side is equally a disaster. The subframe connector hole has been cut. And thankfully, this very thick plastic has been able to block all the sparks, protecting my interior. And going to the rear of the car, the axle setup is about 99% done and looking very clean. I'll be experimenting with spring rates when the car runs again, so the springs that it has now aren't final. And the front suspension is almost done. I still haven't finalized what spring rates I'll be running. This hole is surprisingly hard to cut. The front area is prepped for welding, and the same goes for the rear. My modified driveshaft is in. And this is the underside of the passenger side subframe connectors that are just waiting for paint. After the subframe connectors are done, the fuel system comes next. I have a bunch of fittings ready for the system. I'll be using a mix of stainless hardline and very expensive fuel hose. I plan on putting my fuel pressure regulator about here, with the fuel lines going underneath the master cylinders. And then the outlet will go directly to the fuel rail. The stainless lines will go in the factory location along the tunnel. The aftermarket fuel filter will go where the stock filter was, and then the hard lines will terminate here, and a soft line will go to the new Aeromotive tank. One job in progress, a million to go. And now on to my Patreon. So for those who don't know, a little while back I got mass copyright striked on YouTube. About 25 videos were hit for supposedly copyright-free music that I used. Basically, big companies buy up copyright-free music and then re-upload it, and then strike thousands of people who have used the music even over a very long period, sometimes more than 10 years. Overall, this hurts my channel quite a lot, as the algorithm punishes channels by not recommending my videos. And this cripples my channel for a while. I was forced to re-edit tons of videos and re-upload them to avoid the strikes, taking more than 3 months to do so. Unfortunately, that also meant deleting striked videos, some of which had over 10,000 views, and those are views that I can't get back. This system is rigged against creators in this aspect, so it's rather frustrating. So I decided to make a Patreon to help offset any future issues. Most likely, I'll be dealing with this copyright strike nonsense for a while. I was a bit reluctant to make a Patreon for a few years despite many people recommending it to me, as I don't really like the whole crowdfunding stuff. However, recent events have kind of forced my hands with this. So if you want to support my channel, become a patron. Don't want to? Completely fine. I'll be pumping out videos regardless. It just helps me a little bit here. Well, that's it for now. Remember to subscribe to my channel, leave a like, and if you feel like it, support me via Patreon.